Hi everybody, it's Debbie at Inkylicious, and today it's all about sailing boats. The sailing boats is a really versatile set. It's great for all year round and it's perfect for mail cards, but not just for mail. You can use any sort of scenic with them. It works well with the waves from our Sea Beach stamp set, and also from the Sea Wreath, which is this size stamp, and because the centre is empty, that's a separate stamp, is the verse, so it leaves you an open circle and you can stamp whatever you want inside of this. So the boats are perfect for it, so you could just fit a lovely scene inside it and obviously keep it on the beach theme. I'll show you some samples that I've done using the boats, and then you'll get an idea of sort of the things you can do. But I will show you this is my granddaughter. She's 7. She comes in Grandma's craft room and takes over. But this is a gorgeous little card, just to show you the size. It's just, she folded a piece of card up and she says, I'm going to make a card out of that. And she did such a fabulous job. She drew the birds herself. She painted the tree, she stamped the boats, but she coloured everything in herself. And she's even got shimmer in the water, which I don't know if that shows up or not. Shimmer on any sort of camera is terrible. But yeah, she's fabulous. So that's going on my shelf. So I'll show you some of the samples I have been doing with these. This is combining our Seagull stamp set. And if you notice, some of the samples I've got have got sails, even though on the stamp there isn't the sails. So this particular one, you can actually put your own sails in if you want them to have them. This is just done using our circle stencil, and don't worry, you don't have to fill the whole of the circle in. You know, you want it to look natural. So these were just some quick tags. My granddaughter actually did one of these, and one of them again has got some shimmer on it, which you can just about see. There we go. So when you tilt it in the light, obviously it stands out. So this was me and my granddaughter just doing one each. This type is just to show you the 2 ways that we'll do it, and we'll be doing one of these. You can either just do it freehand, or if you prefer to keep it squared off, then you can mask your card off. And these are the same sort of things, just in a different colourway. And all the verses are from our verse stamp sets, of which I'll show you in a bit, but there's just so many to choose from. And this is one of the new ones that we have now. We've actually combined a lot of the Moments Memories style into one plate. 7 stamps in total, plus you get your mix and match ones that you can just swap around and change how it reads. And excellent value for money now. So that's a new set. But obviously we have the waves, we have the seagulls, strength and courage, timeless moments, have no fear, the moons I might use, timeless moments, I've just done that one, haven't I? So yeah, so there's plenty of sentiments that work fabulous with these. I mean, this one itself, don't let the fear of the unknown keep you from experience a life greater than you have ever known. You know all those things you've been wanting to do, you should go do them. Life is too short. The only courage you need is the courage to follow your dreams. Not all storms come to disrupt your life, some come to clear your path. So this is the same sort of technique, just different colourway. And I haven't put a sentiment on this. Sometimes I'll come back later and pop one on. But sometimes I have my cards, so the design that you can frame them. So, you know, you may not want a sentiment across the top. And this is just the same technique, just using different colours. So this one, as you can see, I have actually put a sail in on this one. so this is your long one, but there is no sail, but they're very easy to pop your own in. And this is the white one, which obviously then you can just colour it in. This one again, same stamp as this one, and I've coloured the sail in again here. And this one's the one of the new Moments sentiments. If you saw my previous video, if you go on to our logo where it says Inkylicious, click that, and in one of the tabs it will say videos. The last video I did was how to create these galaxy skies, and this again, same technique, just different colourway, and making sure that where I kept this colour is where I wanted to stamp my boat. So I stamped my boat first and then did the other colourways on it. And again, I haven't put a sentiment on here. I probably will do later. But it's just a fabulous idea. And again, there is some sparkles in the sky, but you can't see them on here. Right, let's go a bit bolder now. So this one, you'll see the boat sort of shines in certain lights. So just to show that you don't have to do all pastel, you can totally change it. And these were the samples that I did when I first brought the set out, which are still some of my favourites. And again, they say sometimes there are no words, and that's from it's either Sympathy or Condolence set that we do. And this one. And if you know where these rocks are, tell me in the comments. It is an actual island, and it's one of the most beautiful places that I go to or try and go to. Right, we're going to put all these away. I'm going to clear my desk, and then we'll get started with some nice demos for you. Right, the card I'm working on is Strathmore Bristol Smooth. If you're in the UK, then obviously our A4 is a different size to US, and I'm sorry, I don't know what sizes it normally is in Australia or Canada. So obviously ours is slightly longer and slightly narrower. All I've done is cut a page, so if you're in the US it's letter size, and for us it's 30 by 21 roughly. All I've done is cut a quarter, okay, quarter of a page. I've taped them down because I'm going to be using water on these. Not a lot, but I'm still using water. And I don't want the card buckling. I want the water to stay where I want it. This is just washi tape. Right, let's find some ink pads for you. Right, the ink pads that we're going to be using is a water-based ink pad. Not something like your Versafine Clairs that are oil-based, or your archival Ranger archival inks which are oil based. We need to be able to move these around. So anything that's water based is water reactive. I primarily use mementos. I've used them for years, since I've got a cat hair there. My cat's been in here sometime. I've used mementos since they first brought them out, and they're still one of my most favourite inks for using. But obviously you can use your distress. I wouldn't use the oxides on this technique. It's okay for doing the blending, the cards I showed you right at the end, but for doing these water techniques, because of the oxide effect in it, you can get some strange patterns that you don't really want. There's Wendy Vecchi, Simon Hurley, Harmony. There's so many, so long as it's water based. So let's move some of these out the way. Obviously I'm going to be doing one of the blue coloured ones. I'm going to be using my blending brushes, which are these. If you haven't seen them, they're in another video, but I'm always using them. So I'm going to use a turquoise and a blue. It's one per colour group, not one per colour. So I'm going to do two here. I'll do one just the random way and one the full. So let's grab, right, we want our first base colour. So I'm going to use just a sky blue to begin with. So if you're switching from, say, a dark to a light, at the side of me here, I always have a piece of tissue. So what I'll do is just rub it on and just check what's on here already. Sometimes you can just pick these up and add a bit of colour on. The nice thing with these is you're not grabbing a handle or anything. They're just so comfortable in your hand. So all I'm going to do is just rub it on the top, just to pick some ink up. It's up to you if you want to dab it off on the side. So this is just to do a random one on this. So this is just the first sort of back colour. What colour have I got there? Summer Sky. No, that's Bahama Blue. I thought it looked a bit dark. Put the right lids on. I have noticed on the back of some of these now, they've stopped putting the colours on. They always used to, on the backs, put the colour on. And a lot of the new ones now that are coming through, they've stopped putting the coloured labels on. So I label all my own up anyhow. And they've also stopped putting the colour on. So if you do get new ones now, just check. If it comes through without a name on, write the name on the back. It's on the lid, but it's not on the back. And then you won't do what I've just done and pick the wrong colour. So we'll just give that a wipe off there. We'll pick some of this Summer Sky up. In fact, let's put a moon on this one. So we have our moon stamp and stencil set, which is this. So you get your moon stamps, you get your stencil, and you get your masks. Now I've used stencil glue on these, and I always keep them stuck on the acetate. Let's pick this one. So what we'll do is just pop that there. Right, Summer Sky, same again, just pick some up. And we are going to do the full one on this one this time. So this is just going to give me my nice background colour on this. And then from here we can start adding other colours in. So I'm going to keep my lids this time with them so I can see where I am. Right, shall we go turquoise in the sea part? Let's bring some turquoise in. Let's just check. Right, this one is just going to be the random one. And this one we're going to do the whole of it. So where you want your horizon, just go across with the brush. It doesn't have to be a perfect straight line on this. Right, so that's the first part of the, just go there in the middle. Right, let's bring some deeper blues in. We'll do the skies first. So I'm going to go on to some Distress Inks, Faded Jeans. Right, now if you look at these, you've got pointed ends. I'm just going to be using the top section of this mainly. It's just so I can just put some colour in certain areas. Right, this one we're doing the full one, so we'll bring some colour in up here. Going to add it in random areas so it looks like the sky. Let's get a bit of memento. Don't worry, it'll all come together. Right, we'll do a bit more in the sea, so I'm going to switch to Nautical Blue. Now this is an odd one, it's between turquoise and blue, but I'm going to keep with my turquoise brush. And again, I'm just going to put some random colours in. Right. Let's get these all out of the way. It's lovely now, I've got this lovely big desk here. Right, paintbrush. Any paintbrush that you have. And some water. I have a big glass of water here. Right, just dab your brush off. Right, first of all, the random one. Just come in and move your ink around. Don't have to be perfect. Same with this bit at the bottom here. Just remember where your horizon roughly is. Just clear that out. You can always come in and add, look, I've got some ink on here. Let's add a bit more back in there. Right, I'm going to leave that one. Right, we'll move on to this one. Let's just bring you up a bit more. Right, we'll start off with the sky. Let's work our way down. Try and keep the horizon where it is. Move into the sea. If you did want your sea to be a bit shimmery at this point, what you can do, if you have any of the shimmer pens or anything like that, you can always just put some on your mat, get some water, mix it in, and then use that to go through with your ink. I'll just pick up some ink off here, might as well use it. Right, that's fine for me. That's all I'm going to do on this one. So I'll dry these off, and then when I come back is we can touch in then with the blending brushes, we can touch up again any areas that we think we might need a little bit more colour back in. So I'll be back in 2 minutes when I've dried these off. Right, all nice and dry. So I'm going to take the moon mask off. Make sure you always stick it back onto the back of the stamp so you don't lose them. Right, I'm going to come back in because I just want to put a bit more shading around the edge on this one. So again, with the brush, first of all, let's see if you can see the shimmer on this, because I can see it, but no, it's terrible for trying to catch shimmer on the water. But anyhow, yes, it does shimmer. So let's go back. Right, I'm just going to bring some in around these edges a bit now. And we'll make the moon look not, or the sun not look quite so bright. So I'm just going to use the edge of the brush this time, and then we'll just bring some cloud through here. Right, happy with that now. So let's get these all out the way and we'll do some stamping. Right, what we'll do on this one is use the long one, and obviously you do have the reflection with this already. And I'll show you how to put a sail in with this. Not my idea, but I can't remember whose idea it was, but whoever it was, thank you. If, like me, you take your top off your stamps and lose them, she just said just tape them and then you don't lose it. So I've started doing that with mine, and it's great because I don't lose my tops anymore. Right, so I'm going to take the long stamp. I'm going to use one of our stamp paddles, which are just acrylic blocks which got the lovely handles on. And what this means is that you can, let's pick my stamp up first, is it allows you to hover. So when you're ready to stamp, don't try and bend it, but you just lower your hand down and then press to stamp. So let's just see where I want this first. So we'll just go central in this one. Right. What we got? We've got Twilight and Morning Mist. I'm going to stick with the Morning Mist, the grey. It's not quite as harsh as black. And especially if we're going to be popping a sail on this one as well. Or shall we do Twilight? No. Right, so select where you want it. So as I said, you can hover now with this until you find the position where you want it. And when you're ready, just lower down and press. You don't need to over press clear stamps. Okay. So we've got that image. So while we're stamping, we might as well stamp the other side as well. I think on this one, right, we'll do the one in the background, we'll do one in the foreground. So again, I'm going to use the grey. So I can hold this in my hand, just ink it up. Bring this one here. And we'll put a small one in the background. Yeah, we'll go for that one. Right, let's put lids on things. Right, we're going to just put some water effects in the sea. So what you want is either your Signo pen or a white acrylic pen. And I know I've shown you all this so many times. When you use your Signo pen, normally you'll do it so you get a lovely white line. We don't want that. We want to tilt it on its side about 45 degrees, and you want a scratchy effect like this. So it's not a solid line like when you write normally. It's just a scratch. So you're scratching the surface with it. And all we're going to do, we'll do this side first. Just go along scratching. Don't worry about that, we're going to get rid of that. Right, you need a brush and some water again. And what we're going to do is soften these out. I've got a tissue just to take off a bit of excess. So they're there, but they're not as stark as when you first did them. If you run out of water, pick a bit more up. And this is because your pens are obviously, the acrylic in them, the paint is water-based. So you don't get these harsh white lines on everything, but your lines are still there, just softer. Now you can obviously take longer to do this than what I am. So can you see now? Right, we'll do the same on the other side quickly. You can go over your reflection, but not your boat. While we're here, I'll just pop a bit in the boat because I am going to colour this. Right, same again, just a quick bit of water, and we'll just soften them out. Soften it in the boat. Right, we'll come back to the first one. Put some in this boat because I haven't done that yet. We'll put some, I'll switch to the acrylic pen for that because it's, you can get more down quicker. Right, so I'm just going to pop some ink in this one. And again, just get some water. Sorry, I do go quiet when I'm painting. If ever you've gone over any of your lines too much, you can always come in just with a micron pen after and then just add some details back in. So just like on here, I've lost a bit of the line. Just come in with a micron pen and pull it back in. Right, we need some shadows on these. I've got grey pens, depending on what you've got. I've got Arteza. If you've got the, I can't think what they're called. I do have one on my desk there. The Kuretake Zig pens, anything like that that you want to use. It just happens I've just got a Memento grey here. So all I'm going to do first is we'll use the fine part. Is look where your sail goes. Right, do a squiggly line. And same for this mast. Right, and then just roughly the shape of your sail. Same for this one. Okay, so we've got that there now. Right, this one's already got it in, so let's do a sail on this one. Right, take your micron pen and draw a sail that just comes out a bit. Don't have to do it in one line. And bring it down to here, this line here. And then we'll take this and we'll just bring it out there. Right, we're going to do the same. We're going to colour this in. Do it with this because it's quicker. What we'll do is give these just a little bit of shading. So I'm just going to use a bit of Nautical blue. Just add a bit of water to it. We'll do the same with the others. We'll just give them just a little hint of shade. Right, this one I'll take off, and this one I'm just going to go around it a bit more with some more ink. To get my tape off, if ever you're worried about ripping your paper, is, in fact, I'm just going to pop a bit more white in there. I want that just to be a bit more whiter. Get the brush and blend that out again. That's better. Right, if ever you're worried about ripping your paper, just use a heat gun or a hot hairdryer. Just go around your tape. Okay, so that's your first one. Obviously I'll trim this down just slightly because I did have the width of the tape that I can do that. And then that can just go straight onto the front of an A6 card. In fact, no, we'll do something else on that in a minute. Right, let's just go around this, blast this round. Want something a bit darker this time. Let's use Paris Dusk. And this is just to draw you into the actual picture. Also frames it nicely then as well. Right. Same again. Let's pull you all straight on here. Right, we're just going to heat this up. There we go. So that was what we've got so far. So you could stamp a sentiment on this. But we're not. We're going to put some birds on. Always finishes it off as a bird. Just get the ink off my hands a bit. Right. I do on this stamp paddle, I've got some of the birds from the Take Flight stamp sets. So you get some lovely tiny little ones in here. And as soon as the Twilight's here, we'll use that. So again, I'm just going to ink up. Just gently press. Now I like things in threes, so I'll just pick a bit more up on one of them. We'll pop this one over here. Okay. Right, let's do the next one. I've got some different ones here. Shall we use the same? No, we'll use the same ones. So I'm just going to ink these up individually now, so I can just pop them where I want. Just make sure that you haven't inked up any of the other. So pop one here. Right, I'm going to quickly mat and layer these up, and then I'll show you the ones when they're finished. Okay, so I've cut the base for this, and I'm just going to stamp a sentiment on it. So I'm just going to use my stamping platform, and we'll do this in Twilight. So that one's going to go on there. This one says, just remember, beautiful things take time and they are always worth the wait. Right, let's mat and layer the second one. So the second one, we're going to use Some Moments Are Worth Holding in Your Heart Forever. The reason as well sometimes that I do these long cards, if somebody wants to frame this, they can always chop the sentiment off and then pop it in a picture frame. So I haven't matted and layered this yet, but I will in a minute. Okay, so that one. Right, let's mat and layer it, and then we'll be finished. Back in a minute. Right, so we're all matted and layered up. So this is the one that was just the freehand. And then this is the one where we did the border. You could as well, to make it sort of stand out even more, is just with a fine liner and a ruler, just go around this inner edge that you've done. And that again makes it pop. The other thing you can do as well, which I totally forgot about, is with our Mountain Valley Hill Sun Moon stencil, you can, in fact, let's do it. Got a bit of masking tape here. Right, let's put a mountain in the background. We'll go there. That's too high. So I'll just put a hint of one in the background here. And obviously, because I've matted and layered this, I need to just cover this edge up. I'll just use whatever is basically on this brush. Right, so even though these are huge, you could just use the edges of them there. So all I'm going to do is whatever's on the brush. Let's have a quick peek. That'll do. And then we take this off and we'll pop it at this side. Use that edge there. stick this about because I do reuse it where I can. Okay, so you can put nice mountains or things back in there. And actually, while we're there, I need to do a reflection now. So I'm just going to add just a bit of shading underneath here. Right, now I've definitely done. We're not doing any more. Okay, so now we've just got some mountains in the background there. So all you need to do with these is just change your colours. So this one was just done using a blue and a pink, and when you mix your blue and pink you're going to get purples. There's probably a bit of orange in there somewhere, yeah. And again, it was stamped in grey. These ones were all like oranges and reds. And again, just with the side of the blending brush, just put lines across and then you can just blend them through with your water. Or you could go really lovely soft pastel. This one was Distress Ink, Dried Marigold and Abandoned Coral. And I think I used, I'm just looking because my ink pads are over there, Rusty Hinge for the sails. These ones are just blended. And I honestly couldn't tell you what inks I used on this one now. I think these were a mix of Mementos and Distress normal inks. And this one was a mixture of Distress inks and Distress oxides. These ones were Mementos. So I hope you have a go at this. You're always welcome. Come and post your creations on our Facebook page. I'd love to see what you all do with them. So till next time, see you. Bye.